Well boys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're actually not doing anything too exciting, but this needs to be done in order for us to finish the hatch. I decided, you know what, let's start finishing the hatch because honestly the Unos has been taking a lot of my attention and the hatch needs to get done. And another thing, I woke up this morning, I looked at the hatch and I saw that it's starting to get a lot of rust from just sitting. As you can see, this has a lot of rust. Like every little metal part is getting a lot of rust. There's like literally rust everywhere. Surface rust is not bad rust, but you get what I'm saying. Like everything's getting really rusty from just sitting, and I am waiting on parts, and it honestly demotivates me waiting for parts. I'm waiting for my up pipe. The powder coater has had it for like about a month, and he said he promised he would finish it today, so hopefully I get the car to get my up pipe, finish cutting the hood, and that's all ready and done. Later this week we also plan on taking it to Ricardo's garage because we're gonna fix the transmission. I have a new housing for it. We're gonna take the guts out of this one, put in a new housing. I also have a new clutch that'll be ready and set to go, and the reason we're doing that is because this one's actually broken. We cannot physically attach my rear mount, and we need that, otherwise this thing will be vibrating like crazy, so we need to fix that as well. Another thing we're going to be doing today is I need to be able to lift my fuel gauge a little bit higher because we physically can't connect my oil catch can line because it hits the fuel gauge. So we're gonna take the fuel gauge off, go to, I don't know, Harbor Freight or maybe any parts store, see if we can find an attachment bigger that we can lift it up a little bit higher. So that's one of the missions for today. We also need to remove these studs right here. These are too small. I bought some bigger ones, but in order to remove it, I need to go to the parts store and go buy 2 nuts so we can tighten them and then loosen the studs. We do have 2 new ones here. These are great. What I love about these new ones is you can actually tighten them with an actual wrench, as you can see at the ending. So we need to do that. We're gonna fix the turbo setup, fully mount it. We're also going to fix the oil catch can lines as well as the fuel gauge. All right, so we got the fuel gauge off. We need to go find an adapter similar to this over there at Home Depot or Lowe's. I don't know, I'm gonna look at everything. Hopefully we find a fitting similar to this. It's a little adapter. It's a 1/8 adapter. So it adapts this and puts it closer to the block. Close enough to where it actually doesn't really get in the way of this. It's a little tight, but it works pretty well. That actually worked perfect. As you can see, there's room between the line and the actual fuel gauge, so that has Teflon all over it, and that should be good to go. We can put this back now. Now we have fuel pressure and we have the 2 lines. Honestly, I regret not putting this or getting this welded like more over here. That would have gave me a lot more room, but it's fine, it works, so it's still good, and we're done with that. Now we need to figure out the problem with this manifold, which is it has the stud stuck on it, and I need to use nuts to get it out, get the old ones out, because we're gonna put some longer ones. These are too short. I already put 2. We just need to take the 2 other ones out. So we lift it. As you can see here, we need to take these small ones out and put the extended longer ones. We do have the line for the oil pan as well, and we have the intercooler piping here. So this thing is pretty much done. We just need a couple small little things, some of these little issues here. So let's try to take these 2 out. New stud going in right now. I love how these studs actually have something where you can screw them in and don't have to use a nut method. It's a couple days later from the last video, but we're finally gonna get started on the hatch. We're hopefully gonna finish it by the end of this month. Hopefully. We finally got a couple parts that we really needed. We actually have them on the other side. I keep forgetting this thing is right-hand drive. And what we have, sorry about the mess, we do have our up pipe, which has been ceramic coated, so this thing's gonna stay nice and cold. So let's go see if we can install it today. Well guys, the up pipe is finally on, and yeah, I'm a little disappointed in myself. Let me show you why. I tried to cut it without the pipe. I was just kind of guessing, right, before I took it to get ceramic coated. Yeah, I'm a bit off, so this is gonna be a tiny bit too big, but I can still save it, so that's fine. What I'm gonna do, oh look, a Honda. Hey, what's up, buddy? No, you keep moving. I'm not coming after you. Look at it, a big turtle here in Florida. It's pretty cool. All right, like I was saying, we need to cut this a little bit wider in order for this to work. Once I cut it a little bit wider, this should be perfectly fine. And I'm gonna have to put a bag in it. I'm also gotta take it off again because they have to cut it so it's flush with the hood. I don't want a damn horn coming out the hood of the car. So let me lift this up, get my Dremel, and start cutting away. Well, as you can see, we actually beat the rain by a little bit. It's starting to sprinkle right now. It's gonna rain really hard. As you can see, we put a bag on the exhaust. Later on, we're gonna do a teardrop and we're gonna put a little flange on it. But this is just a minimum just to get it on the dyno. I'm probably gonna take it to M&J, Ricardo's garage, later this week, and we're gonna do the transmission and clutch. And all I will be needing after that point is my wiring harness, and this thing is ready to hit the dyno. What I'm going to do is I'm actually gonna put 2 bags. I put a regular bag, and then I'm gonna put one of these sandwich bags on top, just because I don't want any water to hit the car. So I'm just gonna do that, tuck it in, and yeah, that should be pretty good. We're gonna put the tarp. I am gonna cut it down eventually, so don't worry there. And we are going to put a little flange on it, and this thing is gonna look a lot cleaner. Right now it's sticking up a little bit too far, but that's fine because we are going to cut it. Well, boys, we're starting today in the junkyard. I told you guys that I'm really motivated to finish the hatch. I'm over here to see if I can find any interior pieces. As well, if I find a harness, then we're gonna take it and try to modify it for the hatch. But yeah, I don't know where the imports are, so it's gonna take me a while. This is all American cars, I believe. So we're just gonna walk through, and as soon as I find something good, I'll start recording, if I find something good. First 2 real scores, what I ended up finding is we ended up finding the crash bar for the Civic. This will actually hold the bumper in place, so I'm very happy about that. And we have 2 new headlights, so we're gonna keep them here. We're gonna keep looking, and hopefully we'll find more. But that's just about it that I need from this car. We're gonna see if we find any other cars and take some stuff off those as well. Let's turn the AC on. Well, we have one thing. I ended up leaving the headlights, and the reason to that is because I have to go pick something up. I didn't even have time. This came out to be 13 bucks, which I think is a really good deal, but I have to make a trip. So next clip you see, we will be home and we will be installing this part on the hatch. As for tomorrow's video, you're gonna see what I'm gonna pick up right now. So now I'm gonna go make a trip, but you won't see this video. You'll see this installed into the Civic. And we're back to the house. So now that we're here, we have the crash bar, and the reason I got a crash bar is because check this out. I want to be running a bumper. I don't want to go bumperless. I want a bumper, but there's no support. There's nothing there holding this up. Plus, this is for the headlights. They don't jiggle, but it goes underneath the headlights, and it just keeps it a lot more sturdy. And I want the bumper to be as sturdy as possible because I do want to drive with that as well. We ordered this yesterday and it came in today. Super fast shipping. This is from Jegs, and we're gonna be installing this as well. This is just gonna make it look a little bit better, just like that. And then we're just gonna do a teardrop effect on this as well, so that's good to go there. And we finally got our lug nuts. Once we have these on, we're able to finally move the hatch around and start doing the transmission, which I'll probably do next week. But for now, let's take the bumper off and install this crash bar. I just ran into one dilemma. I keep forgetting that I'm running an Evo intercooler. It's too tall and too wide. It keeps hitting the bracket itself. So what I think I'm going to do, because I need these for the bumper, and I need these, and I need just in general the very end of this as support to hold the bumper up. What I think I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut the inside of here, cut all the inside so the intercooler goes inside. Yes, it's not going to be very good for the flow, but keep in mind, look how big this is. So all of this right here will still work perfectly fine. This might not get any air, but I need something to hold my bumper in place, because as you can see, there's nothing holding it in place currently. So I need something. What I think I'm going to do, like I said again, is I'm going to measure it, mark it, and yeah, just cut it and make the bumper fit. I don't see how else. I'm gonna leave the outer edge, like I'm gonna leave this, but I'm gonna cut it so it doesn't get in the way. There's no real actual way out of this. The only way I can make it work is if I cut it, unfortunately. So Yeah, so we're gonna make it work with what we have, and hopefully this works. Just like that, just free. She is now on, and I painted it blue. That's all I had, but blue works perfectly fine. This thing is bolted on. It took me a lot of work to modify this thing to work. The holes wouldn't align because this is an aftermarket front end, and I had to cut all this for the intercooler. I would cut it here, but I think this is support for the bumper as well, so I'm not too sure. Maybe if I find out, if I do research, this does nothing, or when I put it on and if I see this doesn't even touch the bumper, then I'm just gonna cut it here, and I'm gonna keep these for the bumper to keep them sturdy on the sides. But so far so good. It doesn't touch the intercooler. It is blocking the front of it just a tad bit, but that shouldn't affect the flow because look how enormous this thing is. It's pretty much the whole front end. It's bigger than the radiator. So we did cut the bumper as well. So the bumper's fully cut on the inside. This one's a little bit, this one's a lot, because this pipe right here sticks out a little bit more than that one. So now that that's done, we're gonna put the bumper back on, and hopefully it fits a lot better. Well guys, I'm gonna end the video here. As you can see, this thing came out pretty freaking good. We put the bumper on, and check out this fitment. It looks really, really, really good. We don't have anything holding it there, so it keeps popping off, but there we go. It should just something like this. So, and it's really, really sturdy. Same with this side. We don't have anything holding it on that side, but if we place it together, it should be something like this. So the fitment is 100% fixed. We do have that on as well. We have new lug nuts. We fixed the fuel issue. We bolted pretty much everything back together. So next time you guys see this car, we are going to be doing the transmission. After that, we have to install the wiring harness, and we're done. So we can take it to the dyno and see what a built H22A can do. This thing is fully built head, fully built bottom end. So man, I'm really excited to see how much power this thing throws down. So yeah guys, I'm gonna end it here. So I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, make sure to leave a thumbs down and tell me why. So I'm gonna end the video here, and I'll see you guys next time.